Man, that took so long. Oh my gosh, I have no time to throw. Alrighty, we'll close this up. Okie dokie. Alright. Hello, everybody. Are you ready? Green on. Green on. Hello. So, today, I said I was going to throw this morning, right? But I got a nice email saying that, hey, your open studio class, nobody signed up for it today, so you're all good to do whatever until your class later at 4. So, it's almost 4, so I gotta rush, and I gotta start making these things because I gotta get over there to work. I had to run some errands and stuff, but it was just nice because I didn't have to wake up really, really early. It's like the ceramic clay gods were like listening to me, and they really wanted to help me out. So that was pretty exciting. I'm gonna get over there in just a second. I'll see ya. In the meantime, green off. There we go. Camera C. Gotta get this little water thing off. I got some water left in there from yesterday, so I think I'm just gonna start cruising on this. Okay, here's pot number 1. Smack that into place. Camera B. Camera B. Camera B. There we go. But actually, there is actually a lot more clay than normal right on this edge here, so I gotta take that off. Oh, dang, I probably should have wet that down a little bit more. Anyway, push this down. There we go. Get ready. Get right up into it. And again, I'm gonna try to be quick with these ones today. So here we go. Nice. A little water right on this bottom edge. And the clay's a little bit hard in some of these areas, so I'm trying to be a little bit more loose with when I get to the top, because I don't want it to just rip and tear off. Anyway, I push that down, right down to the bottom. Take my hand, pull this up. There we go. Just right on the top edge here. There we go, a little bit more water right on the edge top there. Just to bring this out. Look at that, nice. Stick our thumbs right down this middle part here. Open this up ever so slightly. Remember, it's like a claw clutting. Clutting? Sounds like something that like a horse would do, clutting. Cutting through this bottom edge here. Sounds like curling, maybe? I don't know. Anyway, then we're taking this edge up. We're slightly bringing that up. Grab our knuckle, go right down to the bottom. So we really, we're trying to, there's some hard parts in this clay that we're trying to get rid of, right, during that first equalizing pull. We go right back down to the bottom here. Take our knuckles, start off on this bottom edge. That's okay. I got some hard stuff on the bottom. Oh, somebody said something. Let's see what you had to say. Or maybe they, oh no, they just joined, that's all. But anyway, I feel like sometimes now since I started streaming, I get so excited that I can interact with people while I'm doing this sort of stuff. It's for like, I don't even know, like for like almost more than half a year, it was just me alone in the dungeon. So it's kind of cool to be able to interact with people now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Bring those up, bring those up, bring those up. Like that. Right up to the top rim. Get over here. Start playing that out ever so slightly. You see how it wants to just twist up in that middle? Okay. Butter that edge up ever so slightly. Looking good. Take some water right on this edge and then push it down. And bring this out. Look at that, nice. Okay, here we go. You know what, I think I'm going to turn up the music ever so slightly. Hold on 1 second. I just think it's such a good vibe. Oh, now somebody commented. Sweet. These videos have improved my potting tenfold. I have started to grow horns. Oh, that's so funny. You know, there was a time where I was like, well, first I wanted to get like a big wizard hat, right? And when I wanted to get this big wizard hat, I had this idea of having it like green screen green. And then I was like, oh, maybe I should do like horns for like the Pottery Demon. And then just like have horns when I threw. But right now my horns are, you know, this freaking head rig that I have on, you know? So it's not the same, but maybe like modern day horns, you know? But that's so funny. And I feel like my videos I don't think are really meant to like help people improve pottery. Just look at it at a different angle, you know? Like I think oftentimes like there's so much like heavy pottery vernacular, especially on social media, and like I think people forget that, you know, it's also like an art. And so you can kind of make it your own in a lot of ways. You don't necessarily have to follow all these like rules that a lot of other, you know, potters do, right? And so I think too, like a lot of times, especially in the pottery spaces, like I don't know why potters feel like they own like the way, right? They know it, right? And there's no other way. And so I think it's really important to make sure we keep an open mind. Like as much as I don't like certain pottery stuff, right? Or styles and stuff like that, it's also just another way, you know? And so I just am trying to find one that like a way for my own that is just like totally different, right? I want to just sit on the pot and get excited about like whatever is going to be creative, right? Like if I am on the wheel and I'm like, all right, vase form 3, you know, like, and it's just like the classic, you know, swoop form. It kind of is not the same for like when I do these trees, because every one of these trees, there's so many room for like one little inconsistency to have so much domination over how the form is going to end up, right? And I think that's pretty exciting, right? Anyway, so I'm going to right up to the bottom, take this up, and I have some hard chunks right at this bottom edge. And so you're going to see it get really wiggly here for a second. Come on. Come on and take my hands and pretend it's like a road. You got your oncoming traffic, not crash. You got your oncoming traffic and you gotta go, right? So here's the go. This hand's pushing forward and this hand's pulling back, right? You gotta bring your hammer fist on top. Push it down. Use your body weight, right? There you go. Look at that. Awesome. Open up that clay. Get some water on the inside there. Open that up. Look at that. Looking nice. I got some air bubbles on the bottom, and then I also created a little groove, so I gotta be careful there. And here we go. One more smooth on the inside here. Try to get rid of those bubbles if I can. Right down the bottom edge. Start lifting this up into our volcano. And there we go. Nice. Here we go. Knuckle right on the bottom edge. Do, do, do. Push that clay down to find that bump, and just slowly take that bump all the way up the side of the pot. Alright, look at that. Nice, right? Go right back down. Bottom edge. Pop that out. Okay, I'm going to go right down to the bottom, get some of this water out. Get that out of there. Okay. At this base. I'm going to do small little ones. Curl that up, curl that up, curl that up. Yeah, yeah. Pop that edge out just a little bit. Make it look really round. Look at that. Pinch that clay ever so slightly. Look at that, guys. Really like when you start getting a lot of those little tendrils there. I mean, look what can happen. Oh no, the one pot is falling apart. The first, number one. I think I left a little bit too much water at the base, so that was my bad. But that's okay. We'll do something with it maybe later. But again, I'm kind of on a time crunch, so I can't be fooling around too much. Take these edges. Okay, here we go. Here comes the cut. I feel like I'm like a samurai or something. And let these folds just flow. Here we go. Look at that, guys. Number 2. Alright, let's see what we can do here. I feel like we can just take these up in a weird spot, maybe. I don't know. It just feels like it's totally falling. That's okay. Alright, that one's kind of disheveled now. Alright, we got one more to go. Camera C. Camera C. Let's see. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I try to get some cool camera angles. You're doing good germination work. I don't know what germination is, but I appreciate it. Sounds interesting. We'll see how this one goes. Maybe if this one's a little bit, if I can throw this one really well, I'll do something a little bit different for you guys. Oh, yucky. A hair? No! This one clay is a little bit harder too, so I'm keeping that in mind before I even start throwing. Camera B. One day I'll get like a camera shake effect when that happens. I feel like that'd be epic. Okay, anyway, pushing that down. Keep that hand, get that attached, nice. Then we can go right up underneath and start pulling this up. And we're gonna be sort of small with these first couple pulls up and down here. Because the clay is so hard, it's gonna help us a little bit more. If we just go a little bit slower with some of these early stages. There we go. Bring the hammer fist down. Right to the palm. A little bit off. Get some of that nonsense off there. Nonsense. Instead of nonsense, one non-cent. That is one non-cent. I feel like that'd be funny. Instead of like, if your friend says something like silly or dumb, instead of saying that's nonsense, you could say that's non-cent. Agree with everything else, but that one there, that was one non-cent. Bring this out towards my palm. Oh, it's not really working for me here, guys. Okay. Push that clay in a little bit. Alright, there we go. Hockey puck enabled. So I have some hard hunks here, so we are going to make sure we cut really nice and slow through this bottom. So here we are. So you can really see how much it's getting kicked off there, right? That's okay. Go right out to the edge here. Clay out to the side. Okie dokie. Well, I guess we're trying to level it out as much as we can before we even start the pull. But for now, it's just going to be wonky. But you'll see that even though it's wonky, you can still work with it, right? You just got to pull it back on center. In a lot of cases, it is possible. Whoa! Chill out, bro. So this is why setting some clay underneath your bat is ideal. So then if you yank it up too hard, you know, it's not going to totally fall off. There we go. Alright. I think with this one, we're going to make it pretty narrow. And I want to do something fun on the bottom. But again, I'm separating that bottom out. And I just want to have it's not perfect, right? It still has some wobble in it. But we're gonna get to this bottom edge, get halfway, and we're gonna collar the rest of this up. And then look at it, it's just totally getting off center here. Oh no, guys. This one's looking pretty rough. We're gonna equalize this clay on the bottom here with a pinch. Be slow. Remember the slug on the top there. Right at that top edge, I have one side that's way thicker than the other, so just gonna let that cruise and be like that for a little bit. We're gonna try to keep this narrow, and also I'm gonna try to get this edge. Oh man, I wanted to get this edge a little bit thinned out, but I don't want to put too much pressure. Below it. Alright. So I would say, if you're doing this sort of stuff, wedge your clay a little bit better than what I did. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Do 5. Dun, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Dun, 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 dun. Just getting a little bit wacky on this top, so I'm not going to do too much more. You can see if you keep it narrow, you know, that pot was pretty wacky, right? Like in a lot of instances, like I probably should have just not have finished this pot, right? But, you know, every time it still looks like it's gonna fall here. Hold on. There we go. I knew it. Just set that right on center. Jiggle it down a little bit. But in a lot of instances, I shouldn't even have thrown this one, right? I shouldn't have continued, right? But you can find some fun things in there, right? And I guarantee you the fact that one side was harder than the other made it so that this form was even possible to create, right? And so sometimes just sticking with it, at least in my book, can sometimes generate something pretty cool. And again, it's gonna fall over again. Watch this. Man, you gotta chill out, bro. Maybe it's only doing that because it was spinning. Anyway, you're gonna just twist this up and set it more on the center there. Look at that. So wacky looking. Alright, down at the bottom here. Boom, 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 bada boom. I'm gonna pull this edge down ever so slightly. And I think we'll do some cut tendrils on this one, and maybe we'll make them a little bit longer than the last one. And then after that, I really gotta head out of here, guys. I'm gonna be late. Be late. Okay. I feel like the ones I made last night were a little bit better than these ones today. we got them made. Originally what I wanted to do was I wanted to do something pretty weird with this one, but it didn't really allow me to do that. I'm actually going to twist this one across and have it hang out right in here. Just right over the edge. The same one on this side. Do something a little bit different, right? Tangents don't always need to go up, right? They can go to the side too. Okay. This one front and center here. Maybe like this. That looks kind of cool. Keep that kind of stiff there. Alright. You got the 3 underneath. Okay. Camera C. There we go. Let's see if anybody said some things. Germination, as in providing seeds of knowledge for people to sow or grow something more from. Oh, yeah. Wow, okay. Yeah, I totally think that. I think, well, for me, you know, like I said, I don't know if you were here earlier, but for me, I think so much in pottery, like, is just, I mean, type in pottery and scroll down. You know, like, that's kind of what I mean. Like, I feel like everything is the same thing. Like if you scroll to the bottom of my Instagram page, you'll see a lot of things with a green background, because everybody in pottery, they're always, well, not everybody, but a lot of people are trying to like make this like fantasy land in their background of like just devoiding it of everything, right? Just this white space with nothing, or like these creamy pastels. And let me be frank, there's nothing wrong with that, okay? There's literally nothing wrong with it. But I think a lot of times when people see that stuff, they get pigeonholed into thinking that that's the way to do it, right? That's the way. But for me, like I did this green screen images on my old work just because it was like sort of poking fun at the fact that, you know, well actually, here, let me go over here by the way. All right, camera A. Camera A. All right, turn green on. All right, green on. Green on. Okay, so I was really trying to like poke at the fun at the fact that, you know, like a green screen is basically everything, right? Because you can key it out, right? And that's what they were trying to do so hard, you know? I see a lot of people when they're editing the images of their work, they're doing so much things to like crop around their thing to hover it in this space that doesn't exist, right? Which is like totally, like it's fine. But I think we really got to start breaking down some of those like stereotypes on what pottery needs to look like. And so for me, like when you say germination, sowing some seeds, you know, I really appreciate that, because for me, like I always think, you know, maybe nobody in my lifetime is really gonna like vibe with my work, right? And maybe I won't ever become a success, whatever, it doesn't matter, right? But I keep thinking like, well, one day, like maybe in 1,000 years, the internet's pretty cool, because now, you know, you can exist and see me after I'm dead, right? What if there's like some, you know, say he's a little dude and he's just like, man, I'm down on my luck, I have nothing going for me, you know, like nothing, there's nothing I can really do, you know, really down on his luck. And then he scrolls across the Pottery Demo video and was like, oh wow, this guy's pretty weird, you know? I'm gonna click on his YouTube page. And then he sees my YouTube and he sees that I did it like every single day, right? And I made work and I made stuff and I tried to break some of the general conventions of how we look at form, right? Maybe that would inspire him to maybe not do pottery, but maybe do something else, right? And really devote himself to something, you know, that he wouldn't have done without maybe my intervention, you know, but long after I'm dead, right? And so I'm not working for the masses. I'm not trying to make work for a lot of people to just like be obsessed with, right? I'm doing it for like the one person who has no other paths visible. I would love to be able to have the opportunity to present a possible path for that person, right? And so I think that's like one of the core things about my work. And so, you know, I'm laying all the cards in on the individual, I think. But anyway, these pots today, if I'm looking at them, I think that this one right here, I think this one actually might be the best one, even though it's not really that crazy, you know. I think it just has like a good voice to it. The bottom tendrils are okay. The twist is pretty basic, has a nice hourglass shape. Rounded over on the top, the round on the top is actually kind of nice. I like that, it gives some more intention of how round that is. And then if I go over here to this one, I feel like if I'm looking at it, I think the tendrils on the bottom are really saving a lot of it. The twist is kind of nice because it's so tight and narrow, but the top, again, I'm losing it a little bit, and you know, the actual flow of making it wasn't great. Okay, then we go to the top here. This one would have been pretty cool. I like the contrast between the twist and the top, but I think that I really lost it on that bottom rim by not taking the water out, and it really got oversaturated and created some water fissures. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. All the best, and strong mentality. Oh, my thing didn't play. All right, well, never mind. I'll just do goated 3. Goated 3.
There's no going back. You've changed things forever. And why do you want to kill me? I don't want to kill you. What would I do without you? No, you. You complete me. Give me one more chance, I'll fight. Let me put you in the side. I ain't got no time for you. I ain't